Hey, my name is Jason. Welcome to the channel. Today I thought I'd do a little video on my 2020 Crosstrek Limited. So let's jump right into it. So here I am sitting in the driver's seat. There's the steering wheel and the dash, as well as the screen. Everything's still turned off. I'm going to go ahead and start it up. And so the reason I wanted to make this video, turn that down. I watched about Crosstrek video I could find before making the purchase for this Crosstrek. And previously I had a 2014 Toyota Corolla, and I love my Toyota but wanted something that would do a little bit better in the mountains with all-wheel drive, living here in Denver, Colorado. And one thing that I was shocked that I did not see in any of the videos was this engine coolant light. So this engine coolant light turns on every single time I turn on the vehicle. It does have to warm up, and in my 60-degree garage it still takes, I timed it, we're looking at about 3 minutes. In the winter it can take as long up to 10 minutes, which is definitely a little frustrating. I called the Subaru dealership because I wasn't familiar with an engine coolant light, just to tell you when the car is ready to be driven. Since it does take a little while for the car to warm up and that engine coolant light to turn off, what I usually like to do is use the Subaru app. And so as you can see right here, this is the Subaru app that I have on my phone, and essentially I can start the car from my phone. So I'll do this before breakfast, it'll warm up for 5-10 minutes, come out, and car's ready to go. Now you definitely can drive the vehicle while that's on, and when you put it into reverse or drive, the RPMs do start coming down a little bit, but you definitely don't want to be driving aggressively when that engine coolant light is on. Alrighty, well, let's dive into some of the features here. So starting with this first screen, I usually like to keep it on this mile/hour gauge, but there are some other options. For instance, how many miles you have to the gas station, 370, and also your miles per gallon. I do get consistently right around 29.4, but I do have a weighted camper bed in the trunk, and so without that I think I was right around 30 coming off the lot. I also think it's pretty cool that it tells you your PSI. I just got the PSI pumped up at the Subaru dealership just yesterday for my 5,000 mile check-in. So maybe that's why it's not showing up right now, but usually it does. Shows me, some tires will be at 36, maybe 39, etc. And then moving over to this screen, I usually keep it on this so I can see how many miles to the gallon I'm getting, and also to the gas station. How to change these, so I was selecting these, which is below the steering wheel, to change this first screen up here, like so, and then you're going to hit this info button to change this second screen up on your dash. And so you can have your date, and then this is showing all about the eyesight. So this is Subaru's new feature, definitely one of the reasons why I went with one of the newer models. And so that's going to stop me from colliding with the person in front of me, and also as a part of, if I go out of a lane, it'll beep at me. So this is kind of the off-road mode, so it shows that I'm kind of at a decline here in my outdoor parking lot. I'm at -2 degrees, and it'll also tell you when you're turning your wheels. And definitely pretty useful if you like to go off-roading. So you can also have your weather, speed limit, how much you're accelerating, more details about the weather, compass, what you're listening to, and there we go, back to the center. Now this is something that's also pretty different with the 2020 model, and which is Apple CarPlay. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So it's worth mentioning that you do have to plug in your charger to your phone, which I'm going to do right now, to access Apple CarPlay. You can still have Bluetooth and answer calls, but to get the full Apple CarPlay, which is shown here, so to access your maps, your messages, podcasts, things like that, you do have to plug it in, which honestly is no big deal to me. It's nice that it's charging my phone while I'm driving anyway. So something to mention with messages here, it is just going to be audio, so you're not going to see the full actual text for your messages, but you can tell Siri to reply to those messages, which is definitely a lot more handy than having nothing, which is what I had before. Frankly, I don't use really any of these other apps, but they do have their own mapping software, and there also are some settings you can adjust. I did play with some of these, but I really like all the default settings, and I don't believe I really adjusted too much. On this info, middle screen on the dash, in the settings you can play with that to have more screen options, and I think that was really the only thing I touched in settings so far. So I wanted to touch a little bit more on eyesight, and this is something that Subaru is really promoting, and it's a little hard to see, but it's just this plastic piece right here. There's going to be cameras inside on both sides of that, and you do want to make sure you turn it off going into a car wash, and you never want to put your hand in front of it while you're driving, because it will likely slam on the brakes for you. But this is a big safety feature that I wanted. It probably would have prevented my last car accident, and it's definitely really nice. Something that it also allows you to do is adjust your cruise control. Sorry, it's a little bright, but this button right here is how you're going to turn on cruise control, and then it also can adjust how far you want to be with the car in front of you. Also to note, this is definitely not the Subaru logo. That was a sticker that I threw on there, as well as with the stickers that are on the side of my vehicle. So just you can kind of see the rest of the car here. This is the passenger seat, and there's this really nice orange stitching all along the car, which I think is a great touch and very true to Subaru's brand. There is also some pretty sleek carbon fiber trim right there by the door handle as well. And this is a peek in the back seat, which I find to be a great size for this car. So I did mention this is the limited version of the 2020 Crosstrek. So what comes with that is going to be the leather seats, the Harman Kardon speakers, Harman Kardon, and then also the sunroof. And the things that won me over were really the speakers upgrade and also the sunroof. I listened to the speakers on the other models and definitely was very impressed with the Harman Kardons. You'll find on a lot of videos that you watch that a common complaint is just the car's pickup, 0 to 60, how fast it is. And yeah, for sure it's not a sports car, but it really has not been anything worth noting for me. I almost didn't put it in this video, but I did want to highlight that there is an intelligent mode, that's more gas saving, and then also a sport mode if you do want a little extra pickup. But for me, pickup's not an issue. Being able to go off-road and having the all-wheel drive, it's definitely not been an issue for me. Alrighty, well let's get outside, take a look at the back seat, and then we can wrap up here. So this is just a better view of the back seat. Speakers as well. My model did come with these rubber mats, which I appreciate a lot, because it's usually just my dog actually staying back here. This is how you close it. There's a little knob here, and then the same thing goes for the other side. And that can come down just like so. And it's really nice that those seats go down almost flat. Right here is a bed platform that I have added, and so I have another piece that lines up right here, and I'll try to do another video on that. And that has made car camping a lot easier and was a fun project. And then here's the same view from the back. A few little small features that are thoughtful. This little light right here. And these are little hooks for your grocery bags. And there's actually more down below that you can't see with this bed crate in the way. There is no remote closing of the trunk. It is still manual on all the models. Just got to pull a little bit. Quick shout out to J Decals. As you can see, these are some mountain decals that are custom for the Subaru, but they also do a lot of other vehicles, and did the wet application. I've been really happy with it so far, and like I said, I'll leave that link for them in the description. I did do it myself, just a little worried about, never have done too many car modifications, but did a wet application with one other to help me out, and turned out great. Lastly, I'll leave you with just the key fob here. For those that don't know what a Subaru key fob looks like, it's really nice, has a little bit of weight to it, and a little bit bigger than your average key fob. Well, thanks for watching this little video on the 2020 Crosstrek, and feel free to subscribe to see some more videos. I'm going to upload some videos on the car platform that I made for car camping, and I'd like to make some more videos as well on the future modifications, planning on doing a lift and some new tires, and so feel free to keep checking in.